The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady. And let's see, tomorrow's Sunday, then there's Monday, then there's Tuesday, then there's July the 15th, and that's it for your 2019 return. So that's when the moolah's got to be in. They extended the payment deadline till July the 15th from April the 15th, and you can get an automatic extension to send in your paperwork later, but you got to pay the money on Wednesday. So we are here helping people like crazy. I'm Esther Gulius, the Tax Lady from EG Tax. We have 5 offices open because of COVID. We had to consolidate offices, so our West Seneca office is open, and that sweet staff in there working with the portable air conditioners, I'm telling you. Our Williamsville office at Main and Transit is open. Our Lockport office is open. Our corporate headquarters on Colvin is open, and our West Side office in downtown Buffalo is open. So if you need help, get an appointment as soon as possible because time is running out. But in the meantime, we're here to kind of prime the pump to get your brain working, right?
That's right.
And I got Tiffany Fabian here in studio with me. Hey, Tiff.
Hey there, Esther. Happy Saturday. Do I sound like I'm in a tin can?
No, you sound good, but you got to get closer. Get closer to the mic. There you go. And Chris Fabian. Hey, Chris.
Hello,
Hello,
Esther.
Christopher. All right, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text at 716-8030930. And I have Kathy, who's been holding for a while. So before we get into the meat of the subject, we're going to talk to Kathy. Hey, Kath, how can we help you, ma'am? Hello, Kathy. Hello, Kathy. You cutting your grass?
Twice.
Kathy.
Gone.
Oh, well. All right. Well,
My grass is like straw.
the office grass is like straw, I'll tell you.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, text at 716-8030930. Okay, 4 days left, and we're going by category, and if you find yourself in this category, listen, because this pertains to you. Why is it important if you're single and you have somebody living with you?
Because if it's a relative, you could do head of household,
And that saves you a lot of money.
Right.
And if it's a kid,
well, you could potentially get the earned income credit, the additional child tax credit, the child tax credit, and the list goes on.
that's right. And it increases or actually decreases the amount of taxes you paid because you pay at a lower percentage for a larger period of time, right?
Right.
So that's important. All right. Why, if you're single, is an IRA important?
Reduce your income, help you save money there. Basically, it's to help reduce your income.
Absolutely.
And that would be a traditional.
And save for your retirement.
Maybe qualify
Same
for the
thing,
retirement credit.
getting into a pension plan. Why is that important?
Because then it reduces your taxable income.
And possibly free money.
Free money because the employer matches.
Yep.
I mean, look in the mirror and say, wow, am I stupid? I'm not in my employee's plan. Student loan interest if you're single.
There's up to a $2,500 adjustment to income for it, so you should make sure you master that or take that.
And itemizing. It's easy to itemize when you're single.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah, which is so unfair.
Right. When you're married, you just get shafted. Married separate, especially. So anyway, we're going to go to the phones. We're talking about categories. 4 days left. We will help you. We're from EG Tax. You can drop it off. You can come into our parking lot and give it to us. Our receptionist is like in a goldfish bowl. She's completely surrounded by cellophane. We're all cleaned up, masked up. We want to help you. You don't have to worry about COVID, at least we hope not, at any of our offices. So far, thank God, nobody's ever gotten sick.
Nope.
All right, let's go to the phones and we'll talk to Kathy. Oh, Kathy, you're back. Are you there, Kathy? Kathy?
Hardly can hear you.
Can you speak up,
I
Kathy?
can hear you way in the distant.
Hello?
I hear
her say
whisper.
she's here, but
I
she's
can't really hear you, Kathy. I'm sorry. Okay, and we're going to go to Mark in Lockport. Hi, Mark. How can we help you, sir? Wow, there must be something wrong, Frank, because we can't hear them.
Hold on 1 second, Mark.
Yep. We're
Mark,
going to put you on hold, Mark. We'll be right back with you. Frank, what do you think the problem is? Our technical advisor? We don't know.
I have nothing. And phone lines were working earlier this morning.
Well, we didn't break them, did we?
I hope not.
We weren't banging it. Well, let's try Vic. See what happens with Vic. Hi, Vic. This is Esther Gilius. How can we help you? Nope.
Let me try resetting them first.
We're going to
Okay.
wait. Frank's going to reset the board. Hang on. We'll talk, and then we'll go back.
And
to
then
our
Kathy,
callers.
call back. It wasn't you.
and
Yeah,
Mark.
and well, no, I got Mark on hold.
Oh, okay.
Kathy,
Okay.
call back. Sorry, Kathy.
Or maybe text us because if the phones aren't working. Earned income credit if you're single and you have somebody, a child living in your home, that's really important
Even-
because there's thousands and thousands
Or-
and thousands of dollars that they could give you that you didn't pay into. And so if you've had a child living in your home, you don't have to claim them as a dependent.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Or even if you're single and your income's under $13,000, you get an earned income
That's
credit. if
exactly
you have
right.
earned-
And but you have to have wages or self-employment income.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
So all right, and so if you're a senior between the age and you're under the age of 65 and you're working, what would you get? Probably
You could potentially qualify for
Or the earned income credit.
So make sure you take advantage of that if you're a lower income person.
And if you're a senior and you don't have to file, and you've been working and you're under the age of 65, you'd get an earned income credit. So you want to file,
Yep.
and you can
And
go
that's
back
something
3
that
years.
you get on the federal and New York State too. So it's both
Okay,
the
Frank,
federal
should we
and New
give
York.
it a shot again?
1 second. he's
1
saying.
second, he's saying. Okay.
Why don't we talk to the break and then we can
All
try
right,
getting
that's
people
good.
after the break.
That's good. And then required minimum distributions if you're a senior. What is a required minimum distribution?
That is your IRA. You have to take divide it by the life expectancy table, and so every year you have to take a little bit out. And so
If
when
you're
you
how
do, over the age of used to be 70 and a half, now it's 72.
And this year?
And this year you don't have to do it at all,
Right.
Because of
but
the CARE
you
Act.
might want to.
Yes,
But you might want to because if your income's low enough, you take it out tax-free.
that's right.
Right? And what's a charitable rollover from your IRA?
It's a direct payment from your IRA directly to the charity. So the money
to
doesn't
$100,000.
up to $100,000. The money doesn't touch your hands. It goes right from the IRA to the charity.
So you've taken money out tax-free.
Correct.
All right, Frank, are we good? Oh, Frank is still, he's working his magic. Social Security, if you're a senior, you got to watch out for Social Security taxability, right?
Right. And
what
that's
would
where
be something that a senior would do that would mess up the possibility of their Social Security not being taxable?
gambling.
Gambling.
Because you got to claim the gambling income,
Right.
And the standard deduction is so high that you get no benefit for it, but it just makes your Social Security
Yep.
more taxable.
Yep. So you got to be careful with that. You know, but I have my losses, but that doesn't matter.
Two
Right.
different places.
Right. And then the other thing that seniors got to watch out is for sales of their investments.
Yep.
Your broker is moving around money. You didn't sell anything, right or wrong?
You did.
Wrong. You sold it.
You
and if you
did.
don't put it on your tax return,
You're gonna get a nasty
basically
gram.
they audit your return and give you a bill.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be really careful. And if you had sales of assets, where do you report the gain at?
A Schedule D.
Right. You don't do it off the chart. If you do the chart figure or you do the percentage calculation, you're overpaying. You got to use the Schedule D worksheet. What do you
Right.
think, Frank? All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with Bo and Mark and Kathy, Vic, and Tony on the other side, and we hope we'll be able to hear you. I'm Esther Golia. See you in a minute. Hey, to us, you are our family. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Frank reset the board. Let's go to Kathy. Third try, Kathy. I'm Esther Golias. How can I help you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yay, Kathy! Yay! Okay, what's the question?
Okay, not a very serious problem, but I My husband and I years ago bought a lot of Series E savings bonds, the intention of using them for our daughter's college. Years go by, we don't qualify to use it for college. Now I have some bonds that I need to cash in. I was going to save them until I retired and my income was less because of the tax implications. But now I've read somewhere that once they mature at 30 years, you have the obligation.
That's exactly right, to cash them in.
Is that true?
Yep.
Yes.
So
what happens if you do not?
Well, they come and beat you up. No, I mean, technically, you're supposed to cash them in upon maturity, okay? But, you know, what I would do is what kind of interest do you think you have accumulated on those bonds, you know?
For the ones that have matured to date?
Yeah.
Probably about $5,000.
Okay, so you and your husband, are you a married lady, Kathy?
Actually, I'm widowed. He's passed.
So your income is how much, approximately?
A little over 100.
100,000. So you're going to probably pay 25% on that. It's tax-free on the state. So
is your daughter's name on them?
Little over $1,000 in taxes.
Chris asks a good question. Is your daughter's name on those bonds, Kathy?
No.
Oh.
Use them for school. You were supposed to
be in your name.
In your name.
So figure $1,000 in taxes, you know, is what you're going to end up with. I think we don't know what's going to happen in November. If the wrong party gets in November, it looks like taxes are going to go up. So maybe you're going to skin the cat anyway. So I would cash in those mature bonds.
Okay, so it probably would be, initially I was trying to cash them in as they matured every year, and then...
Right, and that's a good thing, but I will tell you, if let's say that the Democrats get elected in November, they are threatening to raise taxes, so you just, at that point in time, you can cash more in, but how much they would raise the rates, I don't know. But you would have, before they did do anything, you'd know. So, but I would certainly cash in those matured bonds.
Okay. Am I going to encounter any penalties?
No, not at all.
30 years?
No, you're good.
Okay, good.
All right, Kath, I'm glad we got to talk to you. Thank you, dear. Bye-bye. Okay, and we got...
And don't forget those bonds, of course, she probably knows, is tax-free on the state of New York.
Right. Hey, Tony, this is Esther. How can I help you? Hey, Tony.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Hear me?
I can hear you. Because Frank did such a good job. That's why. Woohoo!
All right. This is my question.
All right.
Last year, I filed jointly with my wife.
Okay.
I'm 67. She's 65. She has a full-time job. I had a pension, and I was working full-time. Now, in the past year, I got laid off. And so I collect Social Security and my pension. And my question is that I started a contractor job in April of this year. And in the first quarter
of 20,
I made about $800.
Okay.
And that's from like April to June. And I'm figuring that I'm really not thinking that I'll make any more than $1,500 a quarter. So, and last year, I had a lot of money withheld, and I cashed in some IRAs, and I had a lot of money. Bottom line is I got like a $6,000 refund. So I'm trying to find out, do I need to send in any kind of a quarterly payment?
Okay, so here's the thing. You're going to make $1,500 a quarter after your expenses or before your expenses?
That's before my expenses.
So after your expenses, Tony, what do you think you make?
After my expenses, I don't know, maybe $1,000.
All right, so it's $4,000 a year. So you're going to have to pay your own FICA, all right, which is 15%, and you have to pay income taxes. But it all depends on how much you and your wife, and you can put money into an IRA as well if you're under the age of 70 and a half. Are you?
Right. Yes.
So you can also put money into an IRA. So you're talking about $500 in taxes, which is less than $1,000, so you really don't have to do an estimate.
And then don't forget your Medicare is an adjustment to income for a self-employed person
as well.
Yeah,
right.
so don't forget to take advantage of that.
You're really not going to have a large liability, and it really has to do with how this all flushes out with your other withholding. So if you wanted to call us after Wednesday, because we're really, really busy now. After Wednesday, we could work all the numbers out for you and let you know, but I don't think you're going to be compelled to do an estimate.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Now, my other question, you mentioned about Medicare. Now, my wife became eligible for Medicare, and because of the amount of money we earned, I have to send Medicare a $400 a month check for coverage. Now, is it possible that because I'm a contractor now, some of that might be a deduction?
Well, no, your half of your FICA and Medicare is going to be a deduction as an adjustment because you're a contractor. But you're talking about from Social Security, right?
Right.
But you're paying the check directly.
Right.
That's right.
And
so that's going to be a medical expense.
Okay, so that's a medical expense. Oh,
right.
All right.
Yeah, if he's paying his medical, it's
right. But isn't that part of the self-employed health insurance that he gets to take as a schedule on the adjustment to income?
Right.
On Schedule 1.
Right.
In Schedule 1.
So you get an adjustment. You get an adjustment for half your medical insurance. You get an adjustment for half your FICA. You can put money into an IRA. I think you're not going to have a problem, Tony.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great news. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, and what Tiff and Chris were talking about is when you're self-employed, you also get to take your health insurance as a direct adjustment, and any excess...
Even if it's Medicare.
Right, even if it's Medicare. If it exceeds your net profit, so the question would be what his net profit would be.
Right.
I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone, and let's face it, we got only 4 days left. And are we happy that July 15th is coming, kids?
Oh, my God, I feel like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going.
All right, let's talk to Mark in Lockport. Hi, Mark. How can we help you, sir?
Hi, dear. You guys are great. I have questions on an estate income tax.
Yeah.
When does the date start, and when do you have to file?
All right. Well, it's an estate return because somebody passed away, and you're doing an estate return, or on a fiduciary from the income that the estate made. Which is it that we're talking about?
The fiduciary income.
Okay, Chris?
Okay, so that's all going to depend on when the person who got the tax ID, how they set it up, if they set it up as a fiscal year or a calendar year. So, and you should have got a letter that says, here's your tax ID number. And by the way, your first tax return is due on such and such date. So that will tell you when it's due. Because if they did a fiscal year, and we'll say the person died in June, it probably started July 1st and will end June 30th. So you would have a tax return due 3.5 months after that. Instead of
provided there was income that estate made. A lot of people think that they have to file a return and there's no money that the estate made, and if there's no money that was left in the estate before it was distributed, then there's nothing to file.
Okay, and what about the sale of a house? How is the fair market value equated if the sale's already done?
When was the house sold?
Well, actually Friday.
Okay, so the decedent passed away when?
October 27th, 2019.
And the house was still in the decedent's name?
Yes.
It wasn't willed to the children?
Well, no, willed, no, it's in probate. And
was there a life estate?
Pardon me?
Was there a life estate?
No, nothing.
So who sold the house?
My wife. She has,
She's the executrix?
Yep.
So it would go on the estate. Right. You would have to ask the realtor, how much was this house worth in October of 2019?
When you're whoever passed away.
Well, October. Okay, so that's when it starts.
Yep.
Because we didn't use a realtor. We sold it personally, actually.
Well, you really need, in the event of an audit, you'd really need some kind of concrete professional who would have come up with the fair market value, the date of the death, or you can use an alternative date 6 months later. if that's what you make an election.
Okay, because 9 months later one was sold, so would fair market value be the same as a sale price?
Probably, but again, you need that professional to find out.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. And what about the sale of the car? Same.
That's tax-free.
Okay.
Okay?
I mean, unless it was a collectible. If it was
yeah,
like a
right.
1967 Corvette, then, it's
Right.
different. But if it's a regular...
But if it's because a car is a depreciating value asset, unless it's like Chris said, a collector's item.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot. If you need any help, give us a jingle. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Esther, what's our office hours and locations? 9 to 9, Monday through Friday. No, 9 to 9, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week.
Right.
Today we're up until 5.
And the locations are Lockport, West Seneca, Williamsville, Buffalo, and Tonawanda.
And yes, we'll talk about the PPP stimulus for churches on the other side of the news. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady. Talk to you in a minute. Hey, I'm telling you, we are happy campers that there's 4 days left. This just kept going and going and going and going. We are so thankful for all the people we were able to help.
Marathon.
Wanted to answer this before we get to Bo from California, who's been waiting and waiting. Are churches eligible for PPP? Yes. And if so, does it need to be paid back? Not if you fulfilled the obligation of paying 60% for payroll and 40% for operating. Yes, churches qualify for PPP. And how much can you earn when on Social Security before Social Security is taxable? If you're married filing a joint return, when you take half of your Social Security and add it to your other forms of income, if that answer exceeds $32,000, then half of the excess over $32,000 is taxable. If you're single, half your Social Security added to your other forms of income. If it exceeds $25,000, then the excess over $25,000 is going to be taxable.
Yeah, that's easy to say. I actually have that equation taped to my desk because I don't have it up here like you do.
Yeah. Okay. So that answers that. And we're going to go to Bo, who's been waiting and waiting. Hey, Bo, how can we help you? Are you really from California?
Yeah, actually, it's great to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
I actually lived in Buffalo, and I worked for you guys in 2012, but I'm retired now. I'm in California.
Wow, what part?
Santa Cruz.
Wow, that's nice. So shall we be jealous? A little bit, hey?
If we were FaceTiming, you'd be jealous.
I got to tell you, it's hot here today. So it's raining, but hot. What can we help you with, sir?
Anyway, I'm working on my daughter's taxes. And she's married. Both she and her husband are in the military. Her home of residence is New York State. His is Maryland, and they're both stationed in Georgia, and they have been there for a couple of years. And I just realized that her military pay is exempt from New York State income taxes if I file Form 225. And I wanted to confirm that, first of all.
Was she in a combat zone?
Is she considered active duty?
Yes, she is active duty.
Okay, because if she was, how I'm trying to think of the terminology.
I do it for Air Force
there
guy.
is a way if it's considered active duty, and even if it's inside, like you said, it's in Maryland, it could still be considered tax-free on New York. I would say call us on Monday, and we can get the exact terminology to ask you. I just don't have that at the top of my head. I apologize.
But you can subtract.
Okay, or you can text Chris too, or email him at cfabian@egtax.com. Maybe that'd be easier for you guys to correspond over the.
What was the email?
It's cfabian@egtax.com.
Fabian.
Okay.
egtax.com.
All right.
Yep.
Which office did you work at, Bo?
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bo.
All right. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we're going to go to the phone and talk to Vic. Hi, Vic. How can we help you, sir?
Hi. How you doing, guys?
Good.
First of all, I have a shout out to Tiffany. I was a graduate of her tax class 10 years ago. And
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. I am contemplating establishing residency in Florida 6 months plus. A few weeks ago, I played golf with a fellow that did establish residency in Florida. And when he filled out his homestead application, he sent a letter to Williamsville rejecting the star credit, and that got his homestead approved. So I know there are a lot of pitfalls and a lot of record keeping associated with doing a 6 month and plus residency in Florida. But I'd like to know, first of all, does that make sense to do something?
Well, you can't take the homestead exemption on New York State and the homestead exemption in Florida, number one. Number two, your intent has to be that you have a closer relationship with Florida than you do with New York. And just because you have a house in Florida and you do the 6 month thing, you gotta really make sure that you understand that if you fly into New York on, let's say, at 11 o'clock on a Friday at night, they count that as a day. So you make sure your days are correct as well. And if you're maintaining a home here in New York, you got to make sure that you don't have a closer connection in New York than in Florida.
And then, Vic, make sure you switch your driver's license
your
and your
insurance.
voter's registration.
Right. Yeah, I already have one car registered down there. I'm going to have another car, my other car up here registered, and then I'm going to change all my credit cards.
And your voter's registration and everything.
And nothing,
yeah.
no problem
but
with your health insurance.
Be careful with your days.
Yeah, I'm going to play it safe and go like 6 months and 5 days or 6 days.
Well,
I do it
Yep.
Because I'll tell you, if you're on a plane and you think you flew in at 11:30 at night, they're going to count it as a whole day.
Yeah, you left at 5 and you had the first flight out in the morning in Buffalo.
Yeah,
that
that's
still
still
counts
a day.
as a New York
Yep.
day.
Well, I actually drive down, so that was my other question too. If I'm driving down,
they will subpoena your telephone records. They don't let you go easy, I'll tell you, Vic. So be very careful. I would be generous in Florida.
so if I'm in transit, that doesn't count
No, it's when you cross the state.
when I cross the state. Okay.
Right.
So any other suggestions or
I would be generous in Florida. I'd stay as long as I could in Florida.
okay?
Okay?
Thanks for your help.
Good luck. What part did you go to?
Venice.
Oh, Venice. It's beautiful in Venice, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Good. Okay, thanks, Vic.
Thanks.
All right, I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We're going to go to John. Hi, John. How can we help you, sir?
I got a question on the gift tax return.
Sure.
Form 709.
Uh-huh.
One of you, if you don't owe any gift tax, are you required to still file that?
Did you give over $15,000 to one person?
Yes.
Then yes, you are required.
Okay, even though you don't owe the tax.
Right, because it's adjusting your unified exclusion. So it's kind of like, it's like somebody, let's make it simple math. Let's say that if you have an estate less than $10 million, okay, then you're not going to owe any estate taxes. But you start gifting away your estate and you don't keep track of it. Well, then you've used up that exclusion, and upon your death, then they would say, you owe us all that money because you gave it away without doing the gift tax return, which adjusts the unified exclusion upon your death. So that's why you do it.
Okay, well, there's nowhere near that amount of money.
But you never know, do you, though? I mean, John, let's say, God forbid, something happened and you had a personal injury and you had a settlement of $100 million next year. You never know.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you hit
$1
the lottery.
in a dream.
Right, or you hit the lottery.
Okay, but basically you're saying even though you don't owe the
You got to do the gift tax return, yeah. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Hey, thanks for calling, John.
Just so you know, there's a text.
Okay, what do we got?
When do I have to start paying quarterly taxes? I started earning this year, May, and my estimate is I'll earn about $10,000 after deduction. My full-time job withholding this year will cover what would be 100% of my taxes from last year. So if I'm reading it right on the IRS website, I don't have to start quarterly payments till next year. Am I right?
Only if you actually owe money. I mean, when your bottom line is that you owe them more than $1,000, then they're going to penalize you. And actually, the first year they give you kind of an out. You can do a 2210. So if you owe more than after that first year, after they give you the out, if you still owe $1,000, then they're going to charge you a little penalty. So until you get to that, if you can manage your self-employment withholding through your employer, you might want to do that instead of doing estimate.
And Esther's right. The first year they do give you an out because of the 100% tax. So she is correct in what she's saying.
And don't forget, New York State, the penalty starts if you owe them $300.
That's right. That's right. Okay, that's why people go to Florida. Anyway, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we're going to go to Diane. Hi, Diane. How can we help you, my dear?
Yeah, hi. I'm calling regarding the paper savings bonds, the double E.
Yeah.
Where do they have to be redeemed if they've matured?
You send them in. Right?
Go to a
bank. No, you got to pretty much just send them into the Department of Treasury.
Okay.
Make copies of them and then send them in.
You can try at the bank, but I don't think they take them anymore.
It used to be there was a Federal Reserve downtown, but that's where the New Era Hat Company is.
Right. That's what I was questioning.
Yeah. So make copies of them and then send them in, and you get them redeemed that way.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Diane. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930.
Oh, I just got some instructions from New York State.
Okay.
Enter military pay you included in federal income that you received for active service or on behalf of a member in the armed services of the United States in an area that is designated as combat zone. So you have
to be in a combat zone.
Right, but Idaho counts as a combat zone. You have to check to see. It's that's bizarre.
Why I asked about combat
right.
zone.
It is so bizarre how they're ruling what's a combat zone and what's not. So for Bo,
is that because they're husking corn over there?
So Bo, I would ask your daughter to check with her CO if it's considered a combat zone.
Right. That's to take care of our guy from California.
Yep.
All right. Before we go to the phones again, if you're a senior, is it important that you think about your long-term care insurance when you're doing your tax return?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's a credit on the New York return, and it's also a refundable credit, and that you can also potentially deduct it as a medical expense on the federal.
That's right. So on New York State, it's a credit
that carries forward.
That carries forward. It's really not refundable. It just keeps going forward.
Right.
But it's a credit, so it's really important. But the nursing home credit, that's refundable.
Right.
And that's an IT 258. So if you're a private pay for somebody that is yourself or your spouse or your dependent in a nursing home, you have a 6% refund coming from doing the IT 258 if you're a private pay in a nursing home. Let's see.
I know I had a client this week. They said, "Oh my God, I love Esther so much. Last year she told me about this and I got money back, and now I'm going to get another $7,000 this year. Why don't nursing homes tell people about it?"
I don't know why. That's really interesting. I don't know why the nursing homes don't tell.
Well,
people.
I know last summer I sent out a newsletter to all the nursing homes and let them know they could put up this bulletin on their bulletin board.
But did they?
I don't know,
Maybe
but
they get a kickback.
I mailed them a pretty little colored sheet that they could put on the bulletin board.
Again, now if you're married, who claims the kids is a big question. Why is that important?
Because there's so many kids that chat amongst themselves, and they're like, it's so much better if you claim yourself, but really you can claim the kids up to the 24 as long as they're in school full time for at least half of the year.
So, yeah,
and usually it's better.
We're talking kids that are in college,
Right.
not the 10-year-old.
Right, and the other thing is, if you and your spouse have split or you're thinking of splitting, it's really important who claims the kids, because there is a refundable credit for children under the age of 17, right? Plus the earned income credit. Plus, if it's a kid over the age 17 or older, and they're in college, you can get the American Opportunity Tax Credit. So these credits are so generous.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you had 3 kids in college, you could save a boatload of money. You actually would be poor, though, but you'd save a boatload of money in your taxes. So sometimes, as a matter of fact, one of my clients, they got a separation, and they live next door to each other, and they have a daughter. And so but when we do their tax return, we actually work it out who's going to do better. So mom gets the earned income credit, and dad then gets the child tax credit.
That's cool.
And it's just remarkable. And then mom also gets the child care credit, which is refundable on New York State. So these credits are so rich. You want to make sure that if you can talk to your spouse, that you do so, right? All right, let's go back to the phones, and we're going to talk to Mary. Hi, Mary. How can we help you?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I'm calling to speak in regards to my dad. He had to go to a nursing home, and when do you have to file? How much money do you have to?
Is dad private pay?
Yeah.
So for sure you want to do the IT-258, because you got 6%. If they're charging him $14,000 a month, which they usually do, that's like $160,000 a year, which is a $9,600 refund you have on the state of New York.
Okay. So what if he had applied for Medicaid and he made...
Is he private pay? Was he private pay last year?
No.
Oh. I thought you said yeah.
I misunderstood.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
When does he have
so
to
then
file?
if dad has Medicare, he probably has low income then. Does he have income over $15,000?
Not
other
counting
than Social Security?
One more time, does he have income over $15,000?
Other than Social Security?
No.
Then he doesn't have to file.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Well,
Thanks for your call, Mary.
question.
All right. And we're going to take a short break. I'm Esther Goulias, the Tax Lady. We'll see you on the other side. Hey, we're family, and we got 4 more days to do this. And I will tell you, my staff has worked so hard since January, and with all this COVID and wrapping up in plastic and masking yourself and gloving yourself. I mean, so right after the 15th, I'm giving everybody a week off. Yep.
I know my computer's going, excuse me, you're not supposed to be doing this long right now. Please stop. Please stop. I cannot do it
and
anymore.
by the way, we're moving right off after, and I know we have calls on hold, but right after we're done with tax season on July the 15th, which is Wednesday, we're going to go right into our summer series where we have special guests that'll be on. We're going to talk about other things than just taxes, but we will talk taxes. Our school is going to start in October, so those of you that would like to go to tax school, we're going to do that kind of differently. I mean, we want you to come to a workshop at least once a month, but we will train you from your COVID protected home, and you can mask up at home, and so you can do that too. So our school's going to start, but we have then starting next week, I think we're going to have Tim on talking about the health insurance, right?
Yep.
The New York State of Health. Tim Eliason is remarkable. So I will tell you, especially if you're stuck paying those COBRA plans, Tim, you're going to be blessed by next week's show. All right, we're going to talk to John. Hey, John, how are you, sir? Thanks for waiting.
Fine, thanks. No problem. My daughter lives in California, and she's self-employed, does a number of different jobs to try and scrape out a living. So she files I think it's called a 1399.
Yep.
And so my question refers to the government plan for the both unemployment and the $1,200 one-time payout.
Okay, that's the stimulus. Did she not get the stimulus, John?
I'm sorry?
Did she not get the stimulus check?
My understanding is by the stimulus, you mean the $1,200.
Right.
Yeah, she says she didn't, and a bunch of her friends, they're people in entertainment business and crazy stuff. She says that they're not getting their checks.
All right. Well, this is what'll happen. She can go to the website at irs.gov, or she can wait till the 2020 return comes out, and they will give her the opportunity to get the stimulus money if she didn't get it. So
Did
she will
move
get it
recently, John? Did she move recently?
No, she's been there about 6 months.
How old is she?
She's mid-30s.
Does she make over $100,000?
Unfortunately, no.
And she may have gotten.
I should have asked that, but I assumed if she was in entertainment, it's tough to break into.
She might have gotten the credit card? They started putting it on a debit card.
I don't.
But if she goes to that website, she'll find out if they issued it.
And also, I could call the IRS with her if she wants to call me. Another thing is there is I think it's a 1310 for when they.
That's a death.
That's a death.
Okay. There's a form. There's a form
We're tired.
to check on the missing money. So I can't obviously think of the form
It
right
is
now.
not a 1310.
But if you want to have her call me, or if you want to call me on Monday, there's a
not
form.
on Monday. Why don't you make it Thursday?
Thursday to call, and I can give you the form number to find out where her missing stimulus money is.
But for everybody that didn't get it, or for those of you that threw it in a garbage can or whatever, you didn't because it came as a credit card. If you didn't get it and you want to go on the website after Wednesday, we can help you with that. You can go to the website, the irs.gov, and it'll also tell you when they sent it out. But if that doesn't work, when you file your 2020 return, they give you an opportunity to get that money. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Thank you so much. You do a great public service.
Thanks, John. Bye-bye. Okay, and we're going to go to Harry. Hi, Harry. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Good. What can we do for you?
I get this whole situation here. So I filed my state and federal through the TurboTax.
Mm-hmm.
Both were rejected.
Uh-huh.
Unbeknownst to me, my son, who's a college student,
claimed himself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I did was, through a friend of mine who's an accountant, I did my son did the amended return himself.
Uh-huh.
And the return that he got back, we sent that money back to the state. Based on his return to the state and the federal, we paid that back through the online payment. So I sent my federal out paper back in March. Did receive it, but when I go on to search for my refund, it shows nothing. That there's nothing there. There's no status. Most recently on my son's return, it does show that it's being amended and they're looking at it.
Right.
My question is, on the state now, I haven't filed it yet. I printed. I was going to mail it out, but they say when you do software, you have to file electronically.
Well, you can file your state electronically. The amended return on New York State, you can file electronically.
I'm sorry?
On the New York return, they will let you file the amended return electronically.
Well, I didn't. We filed the amended on my son's.
You never did an amended on yours.
Mine, no.
Yeah, see, you can, because your return will never be able to go electronic because of the whole situation.
On the federal.
Right. And the state, you can send it paper because it can't go electronic. They will not penalize you.
Well, I already sent my state in, and I didn't I didn't amend it. I just sent it in. I thought it would all kind of catch up.
No, you have to do an amended return.
Oh, I do. Both, even though.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They're too
They
busy.
only know tax lingo, Harry. I mean, they process what they got in front of them, and they don't go, gee, you think Harry's going to do you think we should look into Harry's return longer? They don't have time to. So it's when they get that amended return that they'll process it.
Got
So
it.
I'm assuming you did the education credit then for your son, right?
Yes.
And you did the education credit for your son on the state of New York as well on your personal return.
Correct.
Okay, so that's why you really want to get that. You want to get it in. It'll probably take a while for the whole thing to flush out because of the COVID thing. People are just coming back. People are slow to want to come back to work. I mean, that's the reality, and so that's why we're doing tax returns in July.
And just so you know the law, you can claim your son up to the age of 24 as long as he's in school full-time for at least half of the year and you provided more than half of his support.
So one quick question. So since I already sent the federal in, so I need to do an amended return on that now?
No, you said you did an amended return on the federal.
On my son's.
Oh, but not on yours?
No,
Oh, you have to do an amended. All right.
Well,
no, your return. Your return was to claim your son. Your son's on the original return, right? That you sent in paper.
Correct.
Then you don't have to do an amended return. You're good.
I didn't think.
Okay, and you don't have to do an amended return on New York State because that's correct. Your son had to do an amended. Your son had to do an amended federal and state.
You sorted it out,
but because it rejected. So he sent it in paper. It's the correct. So I'm assuming it'll take 2 or 3 months before it'll all.
Yeah, you can call New York State to see what's going on with yours. They haven't stopped working.
Right.
And if you want, after Wednesday, I could call the practitioner line for New York with you if you wanted me to.
So I sent my federal in way back when.
You're good. You're good.
Once that's qualified and fixed,
Yep.
then the state would accept yours. But they haven't even looked at mine.
Right, because it's paper.
Right.
You know, they haven't opened up papers yet. They will here shortly.
But
because a lot of checks are coming in on the 15th. So I believe they're going to start opening up these returns.
So I can send my New York State like I was going to put it in Monday.
Yeah, it doesn't have to go electronic.
Anyway, we got to go. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax. If you need the best tax help, our offices are open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 9 to 9. Call 632-7886 if you want to make an appointment. Visit us on our website at egtax.com. We love you. We thank you for trusting us with your tax work and listening to us. Thank you. I'm Esther Gulius. Have a great week.